They say it took the dinosaurs 33,000 years to die. 33 millennia from the moment the asteroid slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula to the day that the last dinosaur keeled over, starving, freezing, poisoned by toxic gases. Now, from a universal perspective, 33,000 years is not much, barely a blink of an eye. But it's still 33,000 years, almost 2 million Mondays. It's not nothing. The thing I keep coming back to is, did they know? Did some poor T-Rex feel the impact of the asteroid shake the Earth, look up, and go, "Oh shit, that's curtains for me"? Did the Camarasaurus, living thousands of miles from the impact zone, notice the sun darkening from all that ash and understand its days were numbered? Did the Triceratops wonder why the air suddenly smelled so different without knowing it was the poison gases released by a blast that was equivalent to 10 billion atomic bombs, not that atomic bombs had been invented yet? How far into that 33,000-year stretch did they go before they understood that their extinction was not looming? It had already happened. The book I'm reading, The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs by Steve Brusatte, which I discovered misshelved with atlases a few months back, has a lot to say on what life was like for dinosaurs. But it doesn't really delve into what they were thinking toward the end. There's only so much, I guess, you can conjecture about creatures that lived 60 million years ago. Their thoughts on their own extinction, like so many other mysteries, they took with them. Fact: dinosaurs still exist. Here's what they look like. A father and son in a failing used bookstore, spending long, aimless days consuming words no one around here buys anymore. The father, Ira, sits reading in his usual spot, a ripped upholstered chair, dented from years of use, in the map section, next to the picture window that's not so picturesque anymore with its Harry Potter lightning bolt crack running down the side of it. The son, that's me, Aaron, slumps on a stool by the starving cash register, obsessively reading about dinosaurs. The shelves in the store, once so tidy and neat, spill over, the books like soldiers in a long-lost war. We have more volumes now than we did when we were a functioning bookstore, because whenever Ira sees a book in the garbage or recycling bin, or on the side of the road, he rescues it and brings it home. We are a store full of left-behinds. The morning this tale begins, Ira and I are sitting in our usual spots, reading our usual books, when an ungodly moan shudders through the store. It sounds like a foghorn, except we are in the Cascade Mountains of Washington State, 100 miles from the ocean, or ships, or foghorns. Ira jumps up from his seat, eyes wide and panicky. "What was that?" I'm drowned out by an ice-sharp crack, followed by the pitiful sounds of books avalanching onto the floor. One of our largest shelves has split down the middle, like the chestnut tree in Jane Eyre. And anyone who's read Jane Eyre knows what that portends. Ira races over, kneeling down, despondent as he hovers over the fallen soldiers, as if he's the general who led them to their deaths. He's not. This is not his fault. None of it. "I got this," I tell him in the whispery voice I've learned to use when he gets agitated. I lead him back to his chair, extract the weighted blanket, and lay it over him. I turn on the kettle we keep downstairs and brew him some chamomile tea. "But the books!" Ira's voice is heavy with mourning, as if the books were living, breathing things, which to him they are. Ira believes books are miracles. 26 letters, he used to tell me as I sat on his lap, looking at picture books about sibling badgers or hungry caterpillars while he read some biography of LBJ or a volume of poetry by Mattia Harvey. 26 letters and some punctuation marks, and you have infinite words in infinite worlds. He'd gesture at my book, at his book, at all the books in the shop. How is that not a miracle? Don't worry, I tell Ira now, walking over to clear up the mess on the floor. The books will be fine. The books will not be fine. Even they seem to get that. Splayed out, pages open, spines cracked, dust jackets hanging off, their fresh paper smell, their relevance, their dignity, gone. I flipped through an old Tuscany travel guide from the floor, pausing on a listing for an Italian pensione that probably got killed by Airbnb. Then I pick up a cookbook, uncrease the almost pornographic picture of a cheese souffle recipe no one will look at now that they can log on to Epicurious. The books are orphans, but they are our orphans. And so I stack them gently in a corner with the tenderness they deserve. Unlike my brother Sandy, who never gave two shits about books but conquered his first early reader before he even started kindergarten, I, who desperately wanted the keys to Ira's castle, had a hard time learning to read. The words danced across the page, and I could never remember the various rules about how an E at the end makes the vowel say its own name. The teachers would have meetings with Ira and Mom about delays and interventions. Mom was worried, but Ira was not. It'll happen when it happens. But every day that it didn't happen, I felt like I was being denied a miracle.